we're back with another video. So of course today we got our aloe vera in the cut, and you can get this at your local grocery store. It ranges from $2 to $3, but not more than $5, so I definitely recommend. So as you can see, the first thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna cut off that really big piece because you're not gonna need it. And then after that, I like to go in and cut the spikes on the side. Just try to be very careful because you don't want to cut too much. You want to make sure you preserve as much aloe vera as you can. So I try to get as far to the ends as I can because of course I want to use as much as I can. So you just want to make sure you cut all this stuff very carefully. You're not going to need those spikes, so I just remove them to the side, and you're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Just try to be very careful. I try to make sure I preserve as much aloe vera as I can, so I try to get off the edge as much as I can. And I try to cut up a little bit more just because you don't want it to be too skinny, because you want to make sure you're still able to cut it. So after, I'm going to throw away those extra pieces and just get them out of the way just so I have a cleaner surface. And then I'm going to start cutting. You can totally cut this by your own desired length or preference. So I like to try to do like a good medium size, just enough to where I know that I can still use it for my hair. So as you can see, there is this yellow stuff that you guys need to make sure you are very careful with. This is not what you want to leave on the aloe vera. You want to make sure it drains, because if you don't take this off, this will make your scalp very itchy and very irritated. So try to make sure you just leave it to just drain off and slide off, or you can either wash it with water or slide it off. So this is the aloe vera, and as you can see, it's very slimy. It's very sticky-ish. But this is something that you want to make sure your aloe vera is very hydrated, it's not dry, because this would definitely get the job done. After that, you're going to want to make sure you go ahead and cut your aloe vera. So I like to make sure I go through and cut all the aloe vera in half, trying to make sure I'm very careful, not trying to cut my fingers, or trying to make sure I cut it a good even slice. So I just go through all of them and just make sure I cut it. So now what you're going to see me do is you're going to see me scoop up the aloe vera, and you have to be very careful with this. I like to go in with the spoon, and I like to just scrape all the gel from the aloe vera away from the leaf. So this part can get pretty difficult just because aloe vera is so slippery and so slimy that sometimes it's hard to get a good grip, and it's hard to really get all that gel off. But you just got to be very careful and just really grip. So again, I'm just making sure I scrape all the gel off, putting it into the blender, and then afterwards I just toss away the leaf. Some people could keep it and use it for whatever purposes, but I like to just focus on the gel aspect of it all.
Look, I got a 23-year-old daughter. She's like, get back summer, we're back.
Awesome. So once everything's complete, as you can see, I like to keep half of it, the ones that I cut, into a separate bowl just to use for later. So I'm just going to put that to the side. And the part that I use, that I put in the blender, I'm going to go ahead and put some honey in it. Honey is really good for many hydrating purposes. It really helps with nourishing your hair, nourishing the scalp and your hair strands. So that's something that I really like to make sure that I go into it. I like to use the raw organic honey. You can use any kind, but I feel as though the raw and organic is the most beneficial. You get the most benefit from it. So after that, I'm gonna go ahead and close your blender, and after that, you're just gonna make sure that everything that you got is to the most even distribution that you like. And that's when I'm gonna go ahead and start blending my aloe vera. So I like to make sure that I blend this for a while, because I really wanna make sure that this is really, all the pieces are really chopped up, screwed, juiced, blended, because you don't want chunks. The least thing you wanna do here is have chunks in this mixture. So just keep blending into your heart's desire. So once I'm done here and I finally get all of my aloe vera finally blended to my liking, what I like to do here is I like to make sure that I use a strainer. A strainer here is going to be your best friend in this scenario. You can use a pantyhose stocking, but I don't have one at the moment, so I'm using the next best thing, which is a strainer. So you're going to go ahead and put a bowl and put your strainer right on top, and you're going to slowly pour in that mixture. Don't do it too fast, because earlier you could see I almost spilled some of it, but just make sure you drain it to the best of your ability. So I like to repeat this process as much as I can just to make sure I have no pieces. Make sure you twirl that strainer around just to make sure that you get all the juices from that strainer, because you want to savor as much as you can and save as much as you can. Don't get that frothy stuff. It's not necessary. You can if you want to, but I just wouldn't recommend it. So I'm just gonna make sure I keep pouring just to make sure everything liquefies, just so I can get as much as I can. And then after that, I like to go in with an empty bottle from the dollar store. You can get this anywhere. And what I like to do is I like to make sure that I put it into a bottle. So you can get a funnel here just for easier access, so it can get evenly distributed into the bottle. I get that strained mixture of the aloe vera. I use my funnel and I slowly pour this into the bottle, just so it's easier access for me to just spray this onto my strands. If you don't have a funnel, you can just do this over the sink. That way you don't have any spillage. Just make sure you're really careful. You also don't have to use a bottle if you don't have one. Before I even got a bottle, I would just honestly just scoop it up with my hands, but it's totally up to you. I'm going in with a bottle this time. Again, you can get this for $1 at the dollar store, and bam, it's all complete. So the next thing you're gonna do here is you're gonna make sure you use hair ties, guys. This is gonna be a holy grail. It just makes it easier for me during the process just to separate my hair. So I do the typical separate my hair into 4 sections. You can totally do this any way you can. So for this part, I'm just gonna separate the top part of my hair just because it is easier. Just try to make sure you try to get as even of a line as you can. It doesn't have to be straight, but I like to just make sure I am able to separate it as well as I can, just so I don't have to worry about that. So as you can see, I'm just going to continue that same process. I'm just only doing my top half this time. So I'm just going in slowly, just making sure I have my hair evenly distributed as best as I can. Some people like to go in with a comb. It's totally up to you, but I'm using my fingers. And that's when I'm going to split my bottom section in half, and I'm going to start with 1/2. So now it's time to begin. So the first thing I like to do is I like to rub the aloe vera against my hair strands. I feel like it makes everything really concise, and I just rub and rub until I don't have any juice. Now, as you can see, I'm scratching the aloe vera. Once the aloe vera dries up from that top layer, it tends to dry up. So you always want to make sure you keep scratching. That way you get more juices. Now, as you can see, you also want to make sure that you also rub into your scalp. Your scalp is very important. A lot of people like to neglect that area, but your scalp is basically your ground. Like, you're trying to grow your hair, the plant, but you need to make sure the soil and the ground is taken care of. So I like to make sure that I really make sure I get my scalp, because this is the best type of massage feeling that you could ever get, because that cooling sensation just feels good. And there's so many hydrating properties when it comes to aloe vera. So I like to go between that process with just rub it against my scalp, my kitchen, and then afterwards rub it into my hair strands. You're gonna see your hair transform a bit after this. That's when you do incorporate the spray bottle, which makes it easier, so you can make sure that an easier process to just distribute that aloe vera juice. So that's why you have those 2 separate sections, the one in the bowl and the one in the bottle. The bottle is the one you can use directly if you want on your hair strands, even your scalp, but I like to use the other half that I cut up to just rub it into my scalp, because it also makes that process easier and it's more of a direct approach, and it's really good to stimulate your scalp when you're doing that massage. So now, as you can see, I'm just making sure I rake through that aloe vera gel into my hair, and as you can see, my hair is starting to slowly curl up and clump up. And guys, this is a sign that you know your hair is really soaking in moisture. Once you start seeing curl definition start to take place and start to form, that's how you know your hair is really taking in all the nutrients that you need. And it's always my favorite part, because I know that my hair is just being nourished and thriving and just really being taken care of. So you're just gonna continue to do that process. Make sure you scratch that aloe vera so you can get the juice, so you can get that fresh layer, and just keep rubbing, guys. Keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing until your heart's content. And during this time and during this process, I like to put on a show, put on some music, just so my mind is also stimulated while my body and my hands are doing something totally different, or they're occupied. So you're just gonna keep repeating that process. So this is my favorite part. It's just afterwards, just seeing how clumped up my hair is. And guys, look at my hair. First off, can we get into the hang time? Can we get into the curls? So cute, so pretty. When I tell you guys, aloe vera is the truth, I'm not lying to you guys. Run to your local nearby store and go get an aloe vera plant. Or stay tuned for when I drop my hair care line, and I'm gonna have aloe vera included. Link in the description, but stay tuned. So the next thing you wanna do, guys, is you wanna make sure you guys twist that section out the way, and you're gonna start with the next section. It's still the same process over and over again. You're gonna grab that aloe vera leaf, you're gonna rub it against your hair strands. You're also gonna wanna make sure you don't forget the scalp. The scalp is super duper important. That's how your hair really grows, guys, your scalp. So make sure you guys keep running through that plant. Make sure you scratch the aloe vera leaf so you have a fresh new layer, and just keep working that product through your hair. Keep working it in, working it in. Go in with that spray bottle, spray your strands so everything is evenly distributed, and rake again. Rake your finger strands because this also acts as a finger detangler. You can use a comb, but it's very important to get used to using your hands so you know how to feel the tangles out, so you know how to gently brush it out. But as you can see, I'm also using a comb to make sure I get those tangles out of my ends as well, just so it can also help with the finger detangling. I like to finger detangle first and then go in with my comb to make sure everything is fully out, but I also like to use the comb on my ends to make sure my ends are smoother, because you always want to make sure, guys, you're starting from your ends to your roots. You never want to make sure you start from your roots to your ends, because that's how you lose more hair. That's how you get more tangles, so don't do that. So afterwards, you're just gonna keep continuing on the same process. Make sure you finger detangle and just make sure everything is just smooth. Make sure everything is just clumped up, and you're gonna see that your hair is gonna start forming your curls. That's how you know your hair is hydrated and your hair is healthy. So as you can see, everything looks super duper good. My curls are forming, they're clumping up, they're even shrinking, which is also a good indicator that your hair is also soaking in product. So you're gonna keep making sure that you continue to finish that process, but just get into the hair, guys. Get into the hair. It looks really good, it looks really healthy, and I'm super duper excited. I love my hair, and I love how aloe vera works wonders for my hair. So again, you're gonna go ahead and twist that section. You're gonna do the same thing on both ends, and afterwards you are going to continue the process over and over and over until your whole head is complete. Get into the curls, guys. This is half of my head complete, and as you can see, the aloe vera is really doing it justice. It looks really good, really hydrated. So just know that this is something that you definitely need to do, and you definitely need to trust, because this is something that I have done for so many years, and it's a staple in my hair care routine. So if you do this and you love it, don't forget to add me, and you got it from me. Yee.
a 23-year-old daughter. She's like, get frat summer, we're back.
So guys, I just completed my whole entire head. So this is what my whole head looks like with the aloe vera. Of course, it's shrinking a lot because the aloe vera has been in my hair for a while. But remember guys, shrinkage is good. Shrinkage means your hair is really taking in that moisture. So never be afraid of shrinkage. So this is just my whole entire head. As you can see, my hair is different curl patterns all throughout. But for the most part, a lot of my hair is clumped up from the aloe vera. And it looks very hydrated and very, very nourishing. So with this process, you can just go ahead and make sure you do your whole head. You can leave it out, you can leave it in twists, totally up to you. But this is what I like to do right before I do my whole hair care routine, which the videos for that are gonna be linked in the description and right up here. So if you guys wanna see a more detailed routine of my wash day routine, make sure you guys just check that out because it shows everything. So then you're gonna go in with a hooded dryer, and I like to stay for under 30 to 45 minutes just to make sure my hair is really hydrated because I have low porosity hair. And this is my hair after a couple of days. So if you guys want to see my hair care routine, again, I need 50 likes. Y'all have been killing it with the likes, so I need 50 likes. Maybe we'll even go for 60. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.